So awesome. All right. Brendan is a technologist who helps companies adapt, I can't read, new technologies and automate certain systems. Give it up for Brendan.
So I work in technology, like Ollie said, and there's really a lot of fear about technology a lot of times. People think that they're going to lose their jobs to it. And really, the latest in that line is artificial intelligence software. People think that it's going to replace human beings in everything that they do, and then that will be the end of society. And really, it's a misunderstanding. There's a few things that artificial intelligence software does today, like image recognition, stock data prediction, voice recognition. But all of these items aren't really jobs, right? They're tasks. So if you look up voice recognizer in Indeed.com, you won't find jobs for it other than a software developer job for voice recognition, right? Recognizing someone's voice isn't a massive part of the economy today. It's just not something we do. And a major misunderstanding that we have is that these softwares, it's not like one thing you make. They all have to be trained to do their tasks. So it's kind of a new paradigm and not something that people really think of. And some of the training requires gathering data, putting labels to that, so that the software can build a mathematical model. So for handwriting, you take a bunch of samples that somebody has to gather from all over and label those, and the software can sort of build models on and predict what that handwriting actually is. But there's tons of jobs out there that can't be done. We don't have data on how you make somebody feel better. How would you judge that? How would that data even be measured or taken? Nobody really knows. So those jobs aren't going to be replaced. But there are some jobs that will be created. So they're going to need AI trainers, somebody that actually coordinates all that data, labels it, sorts it, make sure that it's accurate. They're going to need explainers, people that actually take the recommendations or the things that are being done and explain it in a business capacity or to customers or things like that. And they'll need sustainers, people that tie systems together, data acquisition and websites, all that different stuff into one nice package so that things work efficiently. And there's a case study out there, and Miller Coors, the brewing company, is competing in a big space, and they're looking for efficiencies because they need to keep their beer cheap because they're not as good as Lagunitas. And so they're looking at AI, but one of the problems is that there's so many breweries coming out that they can't keep up, and so they're losing their minds there, and they're looking for efficiencies, and they can't just lay people off because that will exacerbate their problem, right? If you lay this guy off, he's just going to keep brewing beer under a craft label, right? So that just adds to the issue. So they're looking for ways to do things cheaper with AI, maybe automate some of their supply chain and things like that, but they're not looking to just kill all jobs. They understand that a company is made up of people. If you automate everything in your company, you're not really a company anymore, you're just a software, right? Or pieces of machinery. The company itself creates connections and spreads its ideas that way. And there's certain products that we probably would never buy without the connection in the first place, right? Nobody's going to go to an AI comedian because you're not connecting with anybody. He might be funny, but who cares? Right? I mean, he's robotic. And if you actually saw a company that replaced every worker that it had, then there'd be another company that ran by people that marketed itself as made by people. And you'd want to support that, right? You would buy from them over the other guy, even if the other guy's a little bit cheaper. So if we ever reach the stage where somebody can actually program an AI that can maybe help a person in a way that we wouldn't think is possible today, it's a long way off in the future. And there's a lot of things that we'll have to create new jobs to get there. I mean, we'll have to have things like wearable technologies that are watching all of us, observing all of us, gathering all that, tons of sensors everywhere. And that's kind of creepy, but at the same time, that's a lot of jobs, right? A lot of smart people have to go into making that. And if we go back to these jobs that will be created, they're not likely to come from outside the company. They're likely to come from within. So you might lose some tasks off your plate, but people inside the company will know the data better than anyone. And so this shift, it might make people uncomfortable, having to change their roles, be retrained, learn things, but that's only temporary, right? Because at the end of the day, if you want a little comfort, just think about the fact that when I travel, I'm left all kinds of notes at work on my desk, illegible, If I could just snap a picture of that, have AI read it and type it in a nice digital readout for me, that would be amazing. So there's really not a whole lot to fear from AI. I think people just need to embrace it. And technology as a whole isn't going to, just kill all jobs. It's here to make us better, and if we use it right, it does make us better.
Keep it going.